Number 1. Scaphism, the boats. And finally, we've arrived at what is quite possibly the worst way any human being has ever been killed. This one comes from ancient Persia, roughly around the 5th century BC. It's called scaphism, and even after researching all 5 of these punishments, this is the only one that genuinely made me feel sick. Here's how it worked. The victim would be stripped naked and placed inside a hollowed-out wooden boat. A second, identical boat would be placed on top, creating a shell with the person's head, hands, and feet sticking out through holes cut into the sides. So far, not great, but nothing you can't handle. Just wait. The executioners would then force-feed the victim a mixture of milk and honey until they developed severe diarrhea. Then, they'd smear more milk and honey all over the exposed parts of their body, their face, their hands, their feet, paying special attention to their eyes, ears, mouth, and genitals. Then, they'd take this human milk and honey sandwich and set it adrift in a stagnant swamp. And then they'd wait. The honey and milk would attract every insect in the area. Flies, ants, wasps, beetles, all of them swarming around the exposed flesh, feeding on the sweet mixture, laying eggs in every crevice they could find. The diarrhea pooling inside the boats would breed maggots and more insects that would begin eating the victim from the inside out. All while the person was still alive, still conscious, still being force-fed milk and honey every day by their captors to make sure they didn't die of dehydration too quickly. The most detailed account we have comes from the Greek historian Plutarch, who describes a Persian soldier named Mithridates who was executed this way after accidentally killing the Persian prince Cyrus the Younger. According to Plutarch, Mithridates lasted 17 days before he finally died. 17 days of being slowly consumed alive by insects while floating in a swamp, unable to move, unable to escape, unable to do anything but scream. By the time his captors finally pried the boats apart, his body had been so thoroughly consumed that there was barely anything recognizable left. His flesh had been eaten away. His organs were filled with insects. He had essentially been digested alive. What makes scaphism uniquely horrifying compared to every other punishment on this list is the time. The brazen bull kills you in an hour. The blood eagle is over in minutes. Even lingqi, as slow as it is, caps out at about 3 days. Scaphism kept people alive and suffering for over 2 weeks. 2 weeks of insects burrowing into your body, eating you alive from the inside out, while your captors showed up every morning with more milk and honey to keep the cycle going. It wasn't just a punishment, it was a project.